Hello, and welcome to my TED Talk. Today, we're going to be talking about something very important to me, and that is why Godzilla is an absolute fucking unit. By me, Michael Cash Money Stillwell. Enjoy this clip of him being a badass on an ATV. Ha, look at him go. You're probably wondering, why are we here? Well, for that, we gotta take it back to the tale of How Many Macs. You gotta be me. Put yourself in my shoes. It's college, sophomore year. I just happened to have a sweet mate by the name of Mac. Oh, look, there he is. Sadly, Mac transferred. Aw, rip Mac. Anyway, then I come up with the idea for How Many Macs. It's a simple game where you just come up with how many Macs would it take to beat a Tennessee Walker. Let's say 6. But one day, I asked a question that haunts me to this day. How many Godzilla-sized Macs would it take to beat Godzilla? And you would not imagine the turmoil this brought me. I thought people would make educated guesses here, but I was wrong. They came up with ludicrous numbers like 2 or 3, max of 5. I couldn't stand it. It was ridiculous. It was the opposite of Cash Money. And then again, last night, the same argument. No more. It's over. I'm here to put an end to this once and for all with cold, hard facts. So let's meet our combatants. On the left, we've got Godzilla, 90,000 tons, 355 feet. On the right, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, height of 6'5", weight of 260. I didn't pick The Rock for any particular reason, just to get set height and weight. So I divided Godzilla's height by Dwayne's height and ended up with 54.62. So we're going to use that as the multiplier. We're going to be applying this to Dwayne's height and weight. But then that's where our comparisons to Dwayne kind of stop, and we're just going to be looking at the peak performance of humankind. So Dwayne's new height is 355 feet, and his new weight is going to be 14,201 pounds, or 7.1 tons. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at the peak of human performance. We're really looking at strengths and feats of strength here. So first, we're going to have Paul Anderson, who lifted 6,270 pounds. That's the most weight anyone has ever lifted. Then we've got Francis here, who's recorded as having the most powerful punch ever. Now, I'm not sure what the fuck kind of unit of measurement they're using there. 129,000 units of what? They never really say. But I was able to find online that it's the equivalent of 26 typical adult untrained punches. So that's what I'll be using later to make some calculations. Alright, so up next we got our boy Shogun, who delivered a Muay Thai kick of 2,749 pounds of force. So this is the single hardest strike ever recorded by Sports Science. Alright, boys and girls, now it's the moment you've been waiting for. Talking about the king of the monsters, Godzilla himself. Again, going to be going over his strengths and feats. So first up, we've got the fact that he was regenerated from a beating heart. He battled Rodan for 12 hours, and then he lifted and threw Kaiser Ghidorah, who we're going to see in this next clip. Now, would you believe that that motherfucker weighs 100,000 tons? And you saw Godzilla yeeted that motherfucker. He didn't just pick him up and just toss him like 5 feet. He literally overhand threw that motherfucker like a good probably 100 feet. So that's pretty wild. Continuing on with his feats, he defeated 10 monsters in a row in Final Wars, and then he survived a meteor point blank without a scratch. Roll the clip, baby. Oh, I bet you're sweating right the fuck now, aren't you? Talking 3 people could take Godzilla easy. He just ate that meteor to the fucking face. But guess what? I got the numbers for you, baby. That explosion was approximately 112 megatons of force. Let's put that into perspective. 50 megatons of force is the equivalent of 3,333 little boy atomic bombs. Oh, if you recognize Little Boy, you paid attention during American history class, because that's the bomb we dropped on Hiroshima. So I did some calculations, right? And 112 megatons is going to be equivalent to 7,465.92 Hiroshima level explosions. Hot diggity dang. So Godzilla's got a few abilities, but the only one I'm really going to touch on is atomic breath. So it's just a laser beam of pure radiation. You know, Godzilla radiates radiation as it is, but he concentrates it into a literal laser beam. And it's always discounted when we bring these arguments up, but you can just watch how devastating it is. And just wait till we get to the actual facts. Alright. So, his atomic breath has a force of 328 trillion pounds per square inch. And then, additionally, a temperature of 2,000 degrees Celsius. That's almost as hot as I am. Alright, so how do these bad boys compare? So, Godzilla has a strength, can lift and throw 100,000 tons, and atomic breath that has 328 trillion pounds per square inch force. A Godzilla-sized man, so the calculations are there, but I'm just going to read the end result. So the strength is equal to 171.23 tons. A punch would be 120,710.2 pounds per square inch. And then a kick would be 150,150.4 pounds per square inch. Just to make things clear, the rules are that it's a neutral environment, so there's no environmental buffs. You know, Godzilla can breathe underwater, he can attract electricity to his dorsal fins, or dorsal plates rather, but none of that stuff. And likewise, there are no weapons, just your God-given gifts, baby. And now is the moment I've been waiting for, when I get to spell it all out for you. So, a femur bone, the strongest bone in the body, takes 899.24 psi to break. Counting from the multiplier, that is approximately 49,116.49 psi. And human bodies are cremated at 982.2 degrees Celsius, whereas steel melts at 1,370 degrees Celsius. Meaning, Godzilla's atomic breath would not only cremate a living human being, but if somehow they survived the intense heat, their bones would be destroyed by the sheer force of the blast. But that's not even just it. Like, there's also the radiation to take into consideration. I didn't do all those, but yeah. Anyway, what about Godzilla-sized men? Well, it would take 584 Godzilla-sized men to even match Godzilla in strength. And I mean, we don't even know if that's the upper limits of his strength, because he just literally launched that boy. That's 100,000 tons. But anyway, it would also take 525 men to even lift Godzilla. And then when it comes to inflicting damage on him, it's kind of hard to say, because he ate a meteor to the face, like a big one that was a lot of force. And so I was trying to calculate megatons of force into PSI, and that unholy number you see right there is that. So, yeah, do with that what you will. They ain't hurting my boy. So, in conclusion, y'all can suck my balls. We Gucci gang now, baby. You know it how it is. Thanks for watching. Here are my sources if you care. And if you still think I'm wrong, well,
You're not just wrong, you're stupid. Now wait just a minute. And you're ugly, just like your mum.